Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today, I'm more than happy to bring you a review of the Studio Series 86 Optimus Prime. So this is the Commander Class Optimus Prime, coming at me at the price point of £75 for the entire box. And I guess today's discussion, aside from whether or not this is a good figure, is whether or not this is worth it. And I think right off the bat, I'm going to say yes, it's worth it. After the review, I'll tell you why. It's so finally good to have this in hand. I missed out on him at Hong Kong Anime Con, or AniCon, I think. I went there on the third day of the con where they had the early release, and I basically just missed out by a few hours of getting that early release. So now that he's out in stores in Hong Kong, I'm super happy to finally have him in hand, and he is way better than I expected. Before we get into the review of the toy, let's take a quick look at the packaging. So this is the packaging, and he is massive. The entire box could not fit into my backpack, basically, so I had to just carry him from the store. We have the wonderful artwork, and turning him to the back, we have all the product images. Here we have him in his iconic pose where he's saying, "Megatron must be stopped no matter the cost." Looking at the top of the box, this is brilliant. I love this accessory right here, and I cannot wait to show it off to you guys. And that's it for the box. Just before we get into the figure as well, let's take a look at the leaflet. Look how thick this booklet is. So back to the figure. Let's do a quick 360 of the toy. And the initial images we got from that piano playing picture shows that he has a massive backpack. But in hand, it's not really that big. Yes, it's bigger than sort of Light of Peace or MP44. No, I mean, MP44 sort of had the similar size of a backpack, right? Given how much is stored in this backpack, and with the amount of engineering and articulation and accessory that comes into the toy, I'd say he's absolutely worth it. He has two problems, and I'll address one of them now right off the bat. The smokestacks are looser than I'd want. They're sort of just pinned in there. I guess I could tighten that with some super glue or nail polish, I guess, later on down the line. So that's not too big of a problem for me, but this one is significantly looser. The other problem I have is with transformation, and I'll show that off later. I currently understand now and appreciate that some people are holding off on watching transformations of certain figures. So before I get into the transformation, I'll put in a time code of when he's in the truck mode, and so you're not spoiled or anything when you get into transformation and you get to experience it yourself. One thing I'd like to talk about now is the windows. The windows always look different in all the images I've seen. Yes, they're not clear plastic, but at the con, because of the lighting, it looked really light blue. Through my camera lens as well, it looks super light blue, but it's sort of this glossy blue that looks better in person, and I think better on camera as well. In this camera, he looks brilliant. Like, it looks like painted light blue, but it's not. It's this darker metallic blue. I think at this angle, he looks the closest to what the windows look like in person. He feels fantastic in hand as well. Like, all the joints are so tight and fantastic. I forgot about one issue, is that because his fingers are so articulated, there's not a lot of grip that wraps around this gun handle. So I'd like it, if possible, for it to be longer, so it reaches like these lower fingers right here. It sort of just fits within that half circle of a cutout. It's not fully circling that gun, but especially when you have a blast effect at the end of this rifle, it sort of just wiggles around, and he doesn't have that much of a solid grip on the gun. So that's one of my bigger problems with it. Again, that being said, let's get into articulation. The head is on a ball joint, but there's limited upwards movement. You can rotate his head 360. He has some sideways tilt, so he has some attitude. One articulation point I love is that his ears are articulated because of transformation, but, you know, he could be plenty expressive with the antenna. I sort of like the IDW1 antenna where it's angled backwards, so I really like how this Prime can achieve that look. So just for the sake of the review, let's bring them forwards again. He has a waist swivel, but no ab crunch, unfortunately. The arms are where, you know, the articulation shines, I guess. Apart from the standard 360 and outwards movement, you do this. Ooh, and there you have a butterfly joint. So you have a forwards outwards butterfly joint here, but that's not all, because if you press it slightly harder, you get a backwards butterfly joint as well, and that is awesome. Let's press this back in. He has rotation at the bicep, and then he has a hinge at the elbow, but it only goes up to 90 degrees. Now we come to his fingers. They're really nicely articulated. Now his index finger is double jointed, so you get your pointer finger and then you can tuck it in as well. It tucks in under the thumb, so I love that. Then you have the 3 fingers that are jointed here as well. There's not a hinge at the base of that fist, so you can't sort of do that Marvel Legends hinged pose, I guess. The legs are nicely articulated as well. So you lift up the hip skirt and he can kick up 90 degrees. He has a over 90 degree bend at the knee. His legs kick backwards and his hip skirts move out of the way to accommodate that. Kicks out all the way, and then he has a rotation at the thigh as well. I love that these thighs are white, and it looks like they're casted in white as well, so it's not likely that it's going to paint chip or anything, and that is brilliant. That is a sigh of relief. His toes can angle down like so, and you unclick that, and he has a massive range of ankle tilt as well. His heels can angle downwards as well. That is it for articulation. He is fantastically posable. At first I thought he'd look too stocky, because in person and seeing him at AnimeCon, no, he's not stocky at all. I think this is alright as well. He's not too buff. I mean, at least he's not Combiner Wars Optimus Prime, where he's super buff. But since we're comparing primes, let's bring in MP10V. This is my previous Chug Optimus Prime, which is now overtaken by Studio Series 86 Commander Class Optimus Prime. There is just no competition here, really. For size comparison as well, here he is with Legacy Elita 1, and I have Studio Series 86 Bumblebee in alt mode for the trailer part. So we have his other son and Spike. Personally, I think the Masterpiece Bumblebee fits in better. Size comparisons out of the way, let's get into the massive amount of accessories this Optimus Prime comes with. First off, it's his iconic Ion Blaster. It's really nicely sculpted. He has his his mags here. It plugs into his arm okay snugly, as mentioned before. He also comes with a blast effect, well, 2 of these to be exact. It's really nice and looks incredibly like those they use in Masterpieces now. Plugs into his rifle perfectly. This is how the peg sits right now, so it doesn't go below that part. It doesn't go as low as it should, or I'd want it to be. And when you want to go ahead and wrap the other fingers around that peg, it pushes that peg upwards and it creates that sort of loose connection. Now that I know it's the 3 fingers that are pushing against that peg, I've learned my lesson. I don't think I'll push these 3 fingers as tightly against the fist as I did before, and that sort of solves that one issue. There's 2 places you can peg this gun on his back. So there's this slot right here on the gun. So there's this one and there's this one. So just angle the pegs away from Optimus and just tab that in like so. And there he has weapon storage in robot mode. And that's brilliant. I think that's super cool. So other than that, the other robot mode accessory he has is his axe. So I guess this is slightly a bit of a spoiler for the transformation. So fold this arm in, close it back up, and there you have a port. There's a peg here, peg it onto the fist. I thought it looked slightly stubbier than it should, but comparing it to AMK Pro's Optimus Prime, their battle axes look pretty much identical. The other 2 accessories he comes with the trailer, so I'll just talk about the accessories when I talk about the trailer. Just for a bit of a fun Transformers 1 tidbit, his smokestacks are blast effect compatible as well. As seen in the trailer for Transformers 1, he uses the smokestacks as flamethrowers, and I guess you could do the same with this Optimus Prime. I've actually forgotten about the most important accessory, and that is his Matrix chamber. And to access that, just dig your nail into this gap, basically, and just open it, and there we have this unpainted piece, which is understandable now. This is made out of that slightly gummier plastic that does not hold paint well at all, so it's understandable that this is not painted, or else it'll be sticky or flaking off, and we won't like that. So flip this open, and there we have the same matrix we've seen Studio Series 86 use. Yeah, it's the exact same matrix right here. It's the one that has the 5mm peg at the back of the matrix, and Optimus can hold his matrix thanks to the butterfly joint. So I'll just close this part back and we hinge it forwards like so. So he has, a closer range of the matrix as well. The instructions tell you just use his index finger. So just put that in like so, and use the thumb to secure the matrix in place, and do the same with the other side as well. And there we have Optimus holding the matrix, albeit looking slightly weird at this angle. I know some people say it looked brilliant in a dark grey paint, and I do agree. I think what they've given us is more than enough. So close this back up, close this inwards as well. And I think it's time. I think it's time to go into transformation. So now is the part of transformation, and I'll put the time code in on screen. So you just skip to the minute and second of the video and you're safe, so you don't get the transformation spoiled. So first off, let's just remove the gun from the back and just close his fist like that. So his index finger does go under the thumb to make sure it's as compact as possible. Open up this flap and rotate it inwards like so. And close it back in. So when you have the arm like this, rotate it sideways so you can fold the arm backwards. Rotate the arm like so. Do the same on the other side as well. I'll do it quickly. So open up this piece, flip this piece inwards, close it back up. Rotate this shoulder upwards like that so the Autobot symbol is still facing you. Rotate it like so. Now the next step is to rotate him at the waist and then untab his backpack like so. Bring it back as much as you can. And then once you're here, just unhook this part from the back. Unhook this part from the back. You're free to rotate the upper torso so it's facing the back. And now you have space to transform the head. And this is sort of my biggest nitpick of the figure. It's super scary to transform the head, and I'll show you why now. Before you fold in the head, you have to hinge the antenna forwards like so, towards you, and then just rotate him backwards and hinge this piece inwards like that. That's normal. Unfold this piece, it's on a double hinge, so straighten that out. This is the scary part. So no matter how hard you push, it doesn't sit flush against this area. So it's super scary. You have to find like a way to like press down on it and don't break the plastic. Do not press against that head, because like don't use that as leverage to push down on that piece to make it sit flush against this part. Don't do it, because there's a super high chance you snap the head off. Just there we go. Just give it a super hard press. So put your fingers at either side of this hinge, like below these two rectangles. Hold your fingers like so under that backpack piece. So put your hand there as well, and just give it a squeeze. Put force on your thumbs, but like don't, you know when the toy's about to break, just don't push it to that point, you know. But it's super tight, and just give it a press. There we go. It's a lot of force you have to insert, and it's super scary, but it's done now. Let's move on to the transformation. So straighten this part out. Once you're at this stage, shift the side of the chest pieces or the ab pieces outwards a little bit, and then so you have access to this part. So you can see the sort of panels separating on the bottom here. So just put your nail in and just lift it upwards, and just basically use that to hide the head. Then once you've got that done, shift the side of the ab pieces inwards like so, and they sort of just come together at the back like so, and that's the back of his alt mode. Before you press the forearms in, make sure that this flap is in like so. So now once you've done that, utilizing the butterfly hinge, just tab this slot into there, and then there's a tab in here that aligns with this one in there. Right, and I've done that to the other side as well. So now this is how the back looks, and this is how the back will look in alt mode. What you do next is we deal with the front of the car. So bring this hinge upwards, just basically unfold everything. Bring this outwards like so, and there we have the front of the truck. Bring this grille outwards like so, and the front of the grille is on a hinge, so bring it upwards, close it back up like that. Now shift it upwards like so, and we deal with the sides of the cab. So unfold that and then just tab everything together. So this tab goes into here, just press it in like so. Fold this part inwards, and we have to do that to the other side as well. It's super simple. Just make sure that you align everything, close the top like that, and then just close the side of the cab up as well. And there, finally, we have Optimus Prime in his Truck mode. Untap his butt, so his butt is on a hinge, so make sure that it goes down like so. And then there's a hinge right here. You see the grey piece. So using that grey piece, untap the car, so it goes like that. Press it inwards like that, and then bring this red flap inwards, and these tabs are going to go to the sides of these wheels. Yeah, the legs are more complicated, but they're super fun and smart as well. So first, I like to untab these parts first. Bring this part out like that, and do the same on the other side. There's a tab in the inside of the leg, so just hinge it outwards like that. There's a slot on this side of the leg, so just dig your nail in there and get that part as well. And there you can combine the legs together. You have these flaps, and with the tabs you peg into the white parts of the thighs like so. Then you sort of just use that and attach it to the back of the forearms. Make sure they tab in like that. And then we basically just fold this leg back down, fold his toes down, and collapse his toes in as well. And we're in the final stretch, everyone. Take this downwards. This is on a slot, so this red piece slots into this little groove here. So just unslot that. Rotate it here, so the red piece is facing forwards. And then this tab is going to tab in here. So we're just going to do that. And then this blue tab is going to tab under here. So bring it upwards, tab it in, and try your best. It doesn't go like fully flush against it, so just do your best to align it like so. And that is good enough for the Studio Series 86 Optimus Prime. And do the same on the other side. Look, the smokestacks are they're always like moving, but unhinge that, rotate it upwards, tab this into that, and then just press the blue tab inwards. And at the same time, realign this blue tab into the forearm tab if you've loosened it. Like so. And now you've realized that he's not got any wheels. So just flip them outwards like so, flip it out like so. Fix everything, so just make it sit as flush as you can. There we have Studio Series 86 Commander Class Optimus Prime in his truck mode. And he looks fantastic. Just look at this truck mode, he rolls perfectly fine. Yeah, brilliant. Look how clean the back of the truck mode is. I've seen pictures of MP44, it's not in my budget. Well, it's sort of just a mess in the back of MP44. I have SS102 Optimus Prime as well, the Rise of the Beast one, and that is a mess as well. So just looking at how clean this alt mode is, apart from his little ab pieces at the back, this is a perfect Optimus Prime. And there's not a lot of robot mode kibble on the underside of the truck as well. Now, size comparison, here he is with SS86 Bumblebee. And yeah, I love this scale. This scale is fantastic. Now, with Optimus Prime in truck mode, I'm just going to put him to the back. And let's bring in this massive trailer. Like, it's so big, it's hard to get him all in frame, but this is the trailer. Roller is what he comes with as well. So let's just take a look at Roller first. He has these seats for Titan Masters. So I think the only Titan Master I have at my disposal right now is Misfire. So I'm just gonna pull his head off. it's sort of hard to get them to fit. You have to go in leg first and then just jam them in like that. He has two 5mm ports, so he can carry his gun away. It only works in the back one because the front one, his magazine thing is in the way, so just peg it into the back. He rolls perfectly fine. And let's take a look at the anti-aircraft gun, which I've called Wayfinder. It's my sort of original creation of taking this and transforming it into a toy. And he has his little, fixing claw. He has his radar dish that folds flat as well. And this is just awesome. Like, his cockpit opens like that. And I don't know what you could seat in there. The closest thing I could seat in there is Masterpiece Spike that comes with MP Bumblebee version 2. But he doesn't really sit in there as well, so I don't know what you can fit in there. Close this back up. He's on this really nice double hinge, so you just fold in like that. He compresses perfectly fine. He has these two tabs, and that's going to peg into there. Like so. This trailer is awesome in the way it sort of does the same thing hybrid style Optimus Prime does like 20 years ago now. Where he has storage, like he has designated storage for all the accessories. They all have this like sort of small port on the inside of that piece. I'll angle it up like that so you can get a closer look. So this part is for the axe. Align that with the inside of that port. So just press it in like that. And the axe head is facing outwards. This part is for one of the blast effects. So there's a sort of pinhole there. This part is for the gun, so we're going to use that same slot we used to peg this into the back of Optimus Prime's back. Press it in, and that sits fully flush. And this is just how insanely big this trailer thing is. Optimus Prime is now in truck mode, so I'm going to use the YOLO Park AMK Pro Optimus Prime, which is slightly taller than this Optimus Prime. Wayfinder, or the anti-aircraft gun, can sort of fix your Optimus Primes like that, and it's proper fun. Gosh, I just can't believe how big this trailer is. So just close it like so, both sides first, and then just tap it back in like that. As you can see, I have the side stabilizers deployed, but this is how it was before in packaging, so it's fantastic the amount of engineering they've put in this trailer as well. So this side stabilizer opens up like that and then rotates outwards like that. Do the same on the other side, and then this hinges downwards as well, and that fully stabilizes your trailer. Another feature we have for this trailer is the surprise storage, similar to Commander Class Rodimus Prime's trailer. So open that, hinge that downwards like so, and you have access to best blast effects you've ever seen on a Transformers toy. This is fantastic, and this is almost what made me say this is completely worth the price. Close this back up. Oh gosh, I'm so excited to show you this. So these blast effects have a certain orientation. This rectangle is going to sit like this, and oh my goodness, this is just the best. He makes Optimus Prime. These two things make Optimus Prime look so dynamic in truck mode, and it perfectly replicates like this moment right here. You got the touch, you got the power. Transforms, rams into all of the Decepticons. This is the moment, and I love it. I love it. This is the centerpiece. I'm just geeking out over this thing. This is amazing. Remove that, and let's just play with the compatibility with Optimus Prime and his trailer. As you can see, he has a trailer hitch like that, and there's a little hitch right here as well. It's not 5mm, so it's gonna sway freely when you peg this into the back of Optimus Prime's cab. I can't even get the full trailer in frame. For size comparison as well, look how massive that trailer is. Oh, right. So since I've brought in Bumblebee as well, we can open up the trailer again. And this is the ramp, obviously. And this can fit, I think, 2 deluxe class toys. Let's put in Steel Jaw there and close the thing. And You know, they all fit. This is a wonderful piece. And just the final thing in alt mode is obviously Roller can haul the trailer. Hook that into one of the 5mm ports on Roller, and yeah, Roller, roll out. Now I've been recording for an hour now, and I'm going to transform him and get into my final thoughts, but my excitement for this figure has not died down. Right, so final thoughts. I love this toy. This is beyond what I would have imagined. What he feels like in hand, how he transforms, how complex his transformation is. This is all fantastic. All these little parts of transformation, they're so smart, so brilliant. You know, the more I play with him, the more I sort of understand sort of the scary parts. You know, that one step in transformation. I think I'm getting a hang of it now, of where to apply pressure. I know not to clamp all 3 fingers around that peg, and it's really stable now. What a way to celebrate the 40th anniversary of Transformers. Speaking of which, is he worth it? Yes. The £75 I paid for, I think is completely justifiable, given that he has a masterpiece style engineering. With all the blast effects and stuff, it doesn't really matter, because where you sort of save money in this figure is that you don't need to buy any more G1 Optimus Primes after this. This is it. This is the definitive G1 Chug Optimus Prime. He is taller than Earthrise Optimus Prime, so he doesn't scale with Earthrise or Siege Megatron anymore. I cannot wait for the SS86 Leader Class Megatron. So today I just saw the news that apparently these back heels are misassembled for all the Transformers Optimus Prime toys. And like, there's not much of a difference anyways. Like, this is meant to be here, and that blue part is meant to be facing upwards. But yeah, it doesn't really matter, in all honesty. If you can get him now, because I think like Ultra Magnus, I could see him, you know, keeping his retail price for a while and then just skyrocket in price. I don't see this SS86 Optimus Prime getting a re-release soon, so this is it. That's my review on the SS86 Optimus Prime. Get him if you can, of course. Please check out my other videos. Thank you for all the new subscribers from that Stumblebee video. But that's it for now. Thanks for watching, stay safe, and goodbye.